Welcome back to My Art Pixie. Today I am going to do a watercolor flip through. This is going to be my second of the Strathmore watercolor paper journal, which I absolutely love the landscape size of it. This is 40 pages, 140-pound paper. And I'll put a link below. I'm not affiliated, just want you guys to be able to find it. So this is my new one that I just picked up so that I can, now that this one is filled, I can start in on the next watercolor journal. I do use other watercolor journals, but this Strathmore brand is the one that I started with, and I do have a flip through of my first one. So if you want to go check that out, I will put the link so that you can go watch that. That was several years ago. It does take me a while to fill up a watercolor journal, especially because I do other art techniques and other sketchbooks and things. So let's go ahead and open it up. So on the first page, I have this pumpkin kind of fall theme, and it is a little bit shimmery. I did use the Cotman metallic, and actually I filmed this, or I filmed myself painting this page because I had the entire book filled except for the first page, which sometimes I do that. So, so if you want to see this painting in real time, I may speed some of it up, but you can see the painting process next week, so be looking for that. So I always start out with some swatches, and then I use some of those swatches to create a front page. These are some cupcake stickers that I watercolored. They became stickers. I also like to use my watercolor journal just to do some mark making whenever I get some new brushes. So that is what this is. And then here is that Cotman metallic again. You can see it kind of shimmers. I did this one recently, and I really like how these leaves came out. And sometimes I'll get my inspiration off of Pinterest, or I'll get some inspiration off of Google or something like that. But this isn't something that like I'm going to go make a print of, for example, or sell in my shop. It's just for me to practice. I did work on this. This was in 2019, like a wet brush, so wet on dry. But anyway, so wasn't probably my favorite turnout, but that's why I like watercolor journals, because you can kind of play around with some different techniques and things. So here I did these fun flowers. I like adding the white gel pen over the top to give it those white accents. And this one as well. Oops. These were some Japanese blossoms that I painted. I feel like I never really completely finished this page, but I'm good. It was fun to kind of play around with that. This one was one of my favorite things that I did during COVID, when we were all kind of trapped in our homes for a while. I did this flower here. On this page, I was just experimenting with some different painting processes. And then here, so I used some masking fluid and put it down, and I was going to do this whole Christmas thing, and I didn't really feel like it was going in a great place, so I stopped. But that just shows you that sometimes you can work on something and you're just like, okay, it's time to move on. This technique was putting a lot of kind of wet color in the background and then going over it with pen and ink. I do use my micron pens a lot in my watercolor journal. It helps me to kind of get that ink and wash feel, or just going over different washes of watercolor with the ink. This one I did during COVID as well. So a lot of this watercolor journal was from COVID. So I did this one during that time. This one as well. Can you see a theme? I really like to do flowers and groupings of flowers. Here I did a couple of leaves. This is actually more recent. So I didn't work in my watercolor journal. I didn't work in it chronologically. I kind of just moved in different places. I would just like open it up and start working on a page. So I never worked chronologically. I know that some people do that. Maybe I'll try that with my next watercolor journal. But I wanted to try a couple of leaves. This is the snake plant and then the monstera plant. And this one, I was trying something new with some paint pens, just kind of seeing, you know, how that would work, but they were metallic. You can see that shimmers. and all of that, and then scan it into my computer and create that as a sticker. I worked on a lot of these paintings. It was during